What is going on YouTube? Hater back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we have to talk about the massive pump that is happening within most of the major cryptocurrencies. We're going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as the S&P 500. So as you guys can see on XRP, in the past couple of days, we've kind of broken through a major resistance, exploding from a resistance of 34 cents all the way up to 37. Ethereum has exploded from its resistance of 1240 up to 1400. Bitcoin went from 16,800 bucks all the way up to $19,000, and then the S&P 500 went from 3,800 points all the way up to practically 4,000 points here. But now we're starting to hit a bit of a pickle. We're getting into a bit of a pickle. We're hitting a lot of resistance levels right now, and prices are starting to peak. They're becoming extremely overbought on most every cryptocurrency here, and there's a chance now that we might not be able to go that much higher. Now, I'm not trying to spread FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, but there is this slight chance that we could start to skew lower here. And I would like to explain why. Now, yesterday's video, I did briefly mention that we should be getting the consumer price data very soon, the consumer price inflation very soon, figuring it would be today. I wasn't, fully accurate. Granted, I didn't look, I didn't check. I just thought it usually happens on the 12th or the 13th. And it came out yesterday. So yesterday morning, it came out at 8:30 a.m. You can see this kind of maybe had an impact on the markets here. Regardless, the S&P 500 did nothing as expected here. We said yesterday that when inflation comes out, it'll probably hit resistance, and then we're going to start to skew lower here. And that's kind of what we're doing here. We hit resistance just a day early, and now I probably think today, moving forward, we're going to start to scale lower here. And I think it is going to influence these other cryptocurrencies here, as I do believe they're nearing extreme overbought, and they're hitting resistances that I don't think they're going to maintain. And I do believe they're going to start to pull lower here, which is not necessarily a good sign, but I am without a doubt starting to see some resistances that might not be so good for these cryptos. Now, with that being said, we are also going to be looking at the consumer price data. I do have the index pulled up because we have some funny things to talk about. But with that being said, definitely make sure to smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's dive into today's episode. So guys, yesterday I put out a video. As you guys can see, honestly, the past couple of days, we've been tracking the major breakout here. We've pretty much caught the run in the beginning many days ago. I'd say 4 to 5 days ago. We caught the original breakout. You can see right here, me saying that I'm getting bullish. You can see that we did have history repeating itself for the break again. It's happening again. Then we started the rally, and here we are pumping to the upside. So we've made numerous videos pretty much capitalizing off this pump to the upside here. So I'm glad that we figured this out early, and you guys were able to hopefully make some profits off of this run here. It's about time that we see some sort of volume moving into the market. I also just wanted to let you know I did drop a new video on my second channel. Link is down in the description. This is how rebuilding supercars made this college dropout a millionaire, TJ Hunt. So it's really cool. Make sure to check this out if you haven't already. It's a really good video. Definitely make sure to check that out. Link is down in the description below. But moving forward here, diving into the consumer price index, just want to pull it up really quick. You can see we had some very interesting data actually get released. So in regards to December, you can see here, December overall, the unadjusted 12-month ended December 2022, inflation fell to 6.5%, which is really good. Or it's up to 6.5, but lower than the previous month here. And I even believe that core CPI fell. So you can see right here, the food index increased by 0.3. Let me get to the actual, where is it? It usually tells you exactly what happens right here somewhere. Okay, here we go. So in December, the consumer price index for all urban consumers decreased by 0.1%, while seasonally adjusted rose to 6.5, which is lower than the previous. And then the index, the core index, went up to 5.7, which is also less than the previous month. So that's good. But what I thought was funny was to read you guys the insane inflation that we've been seeing over some of these industries here. You can see food fell, but there are a few categories where it rose. Fuel oil fell 16% last month, which is really good here. We have utility, piped went up here, and a few other things actually went up. But you can see it says, where is it? The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs increased 1% in December, as the index for specifically eggs rose 11%. And then there was something else that was up extremely high. Here it is. So The food at home index rose 11.8% over the last 12 months. The index for cereal and bakery products rose 16.1%. And then it says increase range 7.7. There was something else that said like we had an extremely high rise last month in like eggs and milk and something like that, which I thought was crazy. But I also want to show you guys the where is it, the inflation Fred chart right here. You can see we are actually falling lower, which is definitely a good sign and on track for what we kind of figured here. You can see that in June we were at 8.9% inflation, and then we went to 8%, 8.2 in September, and then here we are at 6.4% in December, and in November we were at 7.1. So we went from 7.1 to 6.4, and we went from 5.9 CPI down to 5.7 here. So we are on the track to falling lower here as we expected and anticipated for most of the inflation data. I think it's going to slowly, subtly start potentially seeing markets continue to drop down for the middle because we are still raising the federal fund rate here. And then come the mid of this year, 23, into 24, we should start to see prices kind of swing back up. But as you guys can see over these cryptocurrencies, we did see a very substantial run over most of the altcoins. Bitcoin's up 12.5, ETH is up 12.5, BNB's up 11.3. Like lots of these cryptos have exploded over the past week here. Some of these cryptos are up over 100%, which is pretty incredible. Decentraland's up 40. Lots of these cryptos are up major double digits. Cardano's up 20% here. But the main takeaway is this going to last? Is this sustainable in the long run? And personally, like I said, am 70% bearish here. I don't think this is going to last. But we do have some interesting information to talk about with XRP. As you guys can see, if I scale this out, you can see for the most part, for those that are new here, we have a major descending triangle. And you can see every single time consistently that we have tried to break through this purple band here, we end up not getting able to break through it. And we end up falling to the downside. Immediately after we retest it, there's many attempts that we wick above, but we end up crashing or correcting, dumping to the downside here all the time here. So for the first time since, I believe it was April of 2021, the first time since, we're starting to see a candle hang out above here. No, that's not true. I mean, we saw one just recently in October here, but what I mean is this might be the first time in over a year that we see a candle, or a year and a half, that we see a candle actually close the weekly chart above here, which is exciting. There's 2 days and 10 hours left, and we look really good. Currently floating at 37 cents here. If we can close exactly where we are today, and we don't reverse all the way back down, which would be horrible, then there's a very good chance this could be the start to potentially seeing these cryptos reverse rally back up and swinging up to 70 cents, meaning that we are currently at the lowest point right now, and there's a good chance we will see a very long run up to a target of, I'd say, 53 to 75 cents, which would be absolutely incredible here. But it all depends if we close it, Sunday night above here. So if we close at 37 cents Sunday night, then I can consider buying in along to the upside. Otherwise, I'm not touching XRP. So keep that in mind, especially since we're battling out multiple resistances right now. Moving forward, Ethereum has become extremely overbought, which is another, telltale sign that we're probably not going to be able to hang out here. There's a chance that this is going to reject and correct lower. We have broken above moving average in the past consistently here, but typically what happens right after that is we reject and we fall lower. So there is a huge possibility that that could also happen with Ethereum here, especially since we're nearing overbought, or we are actually well overbought right now. So we could honestly anticipate correction to the downside to come. So we'll see if that happens or not. But it is, breaking out bullish. And we did say that if you were able to buy in right off this symmetrical triangle here, history typically repeats itself. You can see we had another symmetrical triangle right here off a dump, filled in the gap, broke bullish. Here we are doing the same thing, breaking bullish here. There's a good chance that you were able to make quite a bit of money. But now I think we're nearing the top. Personally, I think we're nearing the top here, and that's where I'm getting a little worried about staying in. We did say keep the stop losses tight. We didn't actually reverse lower than where we had the stop loss. So now you can either take profits or move your stop loss up even higher using BidFi. BidFi is the #1 cryptocurrency leveraging exchange that I like to use here on the channel. You can buy long, sell short, take stop losses, take profits. They offer a demo account account, which is really cool right here. They even have XRP, which not many exchanges offer. So make sure to check out BitFi down in the description below if you want to check it out. Moving forward, we're now at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's hitting quite a bit of resistance, also extremely overbought and intertwined with a major resistance at 18.7, as well as its moving averages. I'd likely think that we're at the top here, and there's a good chance rejection is going to come. Truly, I think we've hit the top in these markets right now, and now we're intertwined with the S&P, which is also hitting the top of its market. It had a very good run over the past week, but I think we're at the top now, and I think a correction back down is what's necessary and coming for specifically Bitcoin here. We could even potentially start to see some sort of ascending fractal. It's a little bit harder to draw, but I am looking for it. You could see kind of like this maybe. I don't know exactly. We could do something like this. I don't know. It looks a little better like that, but there's definitely a resistance, that's for sure. On the top here, maybe it's some sort of downtrend like this. I don't know, but it looks like we are scaling lower. Maybe something like that. We could leave it here like this and jump to the daily, see if that lines up. It does actually line up extremely well here. So this is a sign that we are in a descending fractal, and we are falling lower here. So I wouldn't jump the gun and say, hey, we're breaking out just yet, because we are still in a very, very, very difficult resistance overall. And we are hitting the top here, which is a huge sign of correction. So I don't think we are going to be breaking out any higher than where we currently are. And I also think we're in line very much so with the S&P, which is also going to be correcting downwards. This is kind of what we expected and anticipated here, a small run, a small retest, and now we're falling. You can see here we're hitting a bit of a resistance level consistently. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. We're hitting a big resistance level right here. And truthfully, I believe that because we're doing it again, we're also, we're getting very close to having a bearish cross, which is possible, but this is a huge resistance retesting the moving average. You can see how much they're constricting here within itself. There's a chance that this is going to reject, and I expect it, honestly, to reject here. We've for the past year have been rejecting every single time off purple band, and here we are doing it again. The likelihood that we break through this is slim. If we do, then I'll know to buy in, but I do expect to see rejection, maybe a pull lower to the middle of 2023, which is what expected, and then we'll start to rally up higher here. But I do think we are going to reject clean off this and start to correct downwards, and that's going to pull Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP down with it. So be very mindful of this, and I do expect to see correction. The only time I plan on buying in is maybe if we're much lower at like 3,500, or we break through the purple band, then I'll buy in. But with that being said, smash the like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.